you guys made a pretty big, pretty unexpected announcement, at least to me. Can you go ahead and give us the lay of land with the El Dorado County Fair?
Yeah, well, when the state and the county came out with their plans for vaccinations throughout the spring and summer, we knew that we couldn't have our June fair because June is way too early. Not everyone will be vaccinated. With the plans of having everyone that wants to be vaccinated by summer, that gave us the idea that we could actually have our fair, but move it out into September. We didn't want to get too close to summer. We wanted to give ourselves at least a month past August to, or close to a month past August to plan our fair, so that we thought everyone would be ready to have some fun and not be in the winter weather. We had to do quite a few things. One is we have to keep our livestock shows either live or virtual in June, because the kids all plan for that time of year. So the animals are bred for that season. So we will have our livestock, our market in June, and then we will have livestock during the September fair. We'll have some jackpots, swine and cattle, and then we'll have like our pack goats and our llamas, alpacas, dogs, that kind of stuff at the September fair. But first we had to check to make sure carnival was available, which they had to jump through some hoops to make sure that works. So they were our first item. Of course, the livestock was the other item, making sure that that could work. Then we started contacting, well, of course, then I went to the board and we discussed it and decided that's a great idea. Then we went to our vendors and first I should say, we checked other fairs to see what other fairs are going on to see if we could get routing. Kern County Fair is the only other fair going on in our state at that time. So we are always up against a big fair. We're usually up against San Diego and Alameda. So we knew going up against a big fair is still okay. So we looked at that. Then we contacted our vendors. They're very excited. They're excited to get back to work. Of course, this is all if everything goes well, but our plans and anticipation is that it will. Then I contacted all of the entertainers that I had booked for last year, and I've probably received 75% back already that are ready to fill the same spot that I had them booked for last June for our September 2021 fair.
There are a lot of pieces to putting together these fairs. How exactly did you get all this stuff to line up to where you were comfortable enough to set a date?
So ironically, we were last March 16th, we were dialed in for our June fair. We had all of our entertainers, our vendors, we had everything ready to go. And then COVID hit. So we tried to postpone it. It didn't work, but we did have our livestock shows. So really, this is my 19th, I've been here 19 years. So I kind of do this in my sleep, and I have amazing staff. So really, we know kind of what needs to be done. And we actually, right now, there's just Kathy and myself in the office, and we just really can put it together.
Entertainers was interesting because some were wanting guaranteed contracts, but there's
we couldn't, if anyone wanted a guaranteed contract, we wouldn't do that. We just move on to a different entertainer, because we all know, we all know there's no guarantee at this point. And it's not because we're going to drop the ball. It's because someone's going to tell us we can't do it.
Was that a big decision to make, to separate FFA and the fair? Like I said, they are two symbiotic things.
Yeah, 4-H and FFA are definitely a huge part of our fair. I would say most people would say shopping, entertainment are behind carnival and livestock. So yes, absolutely. So, but we had to do it for the kids. We have to separate them, even though we're inviting them back with their other animals later, just not their market animals. Their market animals will be earlier. Yes, it was a big decision, but we couldn't make them wait till September because the animals would have been too old to sell.
How much would it mean to you after everything that happened in 2020 to come roaring back with an El Dorado County Fair in the biggest party of the year?
Oh, I can't even imagine. I mean, that's what we're hoping for, is we're anticipating the biggest bash, and we know everyone wants to come. We posted on Facebook that we were planning in September. Within an hour and a half, we had 44,000 reaches. I can't even remember how many shares. The very next day, we had 80 something thousand. So people are excited and they're sharing it all over. Everyone, our phone has been ringing. It's almost like back to normal. You know, it's been so quiet here, and some days we're bored, and we haven't been. It's been great. So we're very excited.
Was this an event you ended up talking to the county about to make sure that everything would be able to go on down the line, or is there still some work to do in regards to getting it off the ground?
Yes, there's definitely still work to do. It's not a done deal. We have to plan it and hope that our county gets vaccinated and our county health officer and approves, and everything still has to happen. But it's too early to get that approval because she wouldn't be able to tell us yes or no at this point because nobody knows. We just have to, we just plan based on their calendar and their schedule of vaccinations on how we are going to be able, when we could do it and when would be the best time. And that's where we are.
Uh, what if the worst happens and we're still at a point where we can't have mass gatherings yet?
Then we won't be able to have the fair. And so we've already figured out what we can and can't spend. So we're not going into contract for advertising right now. We're not doing anything that we can't get out of without spending money. And right now it's just work, and we're fine with that. We're really good at hard work, and if we're disappointed at the end, we know going into it that that's that possibility.
What's been the impact of COVID at the El Dorado County Fair? I've talked to many fairs about this before. A lot of layoffs have happened. A lot of revenue's been lost. Can you just lay that out for us?
We've lost about 90% of our revenue last year, and we're at about a $1.3 million budget. It's been pretty devastating. Luckily, we had one full-time maintenance staff leave right before COVID, and we hadn't replaced his spot yet. So that was one big savings. We had one full-time employee that has been here for 17 years. She retired during COVID. And then we had one employee that decided she wanted to work less and be home with her new baby. And she's also pregnant again. So that was three full-time employees that were down. Plus we're down all of our work project that we get through the sheriff's office. And we only have our three maintenance guys and two of us in the office trying to maintain 57 acres of land and everything we can do without revenue. But we've received, a couple small grants. We received a little bit of funding from the PPP. And so we've done some things that we've scaled back a lot. We thought we'd be out of money by the end of last year based on using up our reserves, and we aren't. We're doing okay, but we can't go another year without something changing.